The rumbles beneath the ground are very loud right now, and it's all because of, I mean, we've seen this big spike up on Bitcoin right here where, you know, just within a very short space of time, Bitcoin pumped quite high, the biggest price action we've seen in quite some time, and then erased all of it. And we're going to talk a lot about that in this YouTube video, but also look at the fucking dollar, guys. I mean, this is absolutely huge, and it's actually really interesting because it's a chart that I showed you guys not too long ago where we were talking about the dollar doing something very similar to this right here, where I was actually demonstrating for you that if the dollar got this breakout, we could see a rapid jump up for the dollar with its price action right here on the index. It's not really price action, and then potentially even come back down here for resistance and for support, and that is really what we don't want. It's actually going to have quite far-reaching consequences potentially for the market. We've spoken a lot about this already, and we're going to be diving deep into it as well in this video. Now, before I do continue, though, I want to mention that yesterday's video was fucking amazing. It was a really cool video, a super deep dive into Binance and a possible collapse for the entire crypto space. Just a thought experiment, just a discussion. A lot of people, fucking half-wits, I don't even know how you guys ended up on my YouTube channel, you know, completely missed the point of the video. I don't think any of that bad shit is going to happen, but a lot of people do. And my job there was to kind of break all of that down for you, explain to you what people were seeing, why they were concerned about different things, and then tell you why I don't really care, because that was my overall conclusion. Is I'm not worried about it. I don't really care about it. It's just noise to me, generally always is. And you guys know my approach. We keep it super grounded and realistic here, but thank you guys for your support on that video. Go watch it if you haven't already. Let's talk about this though, because the dollar has spiked up, and you know, this has far-reaching consequences for the rest of the market. You know, if we take a look at the S&P 500, which is a major index that I've been following for quite some time, we've actually plunged below this area of support right here that the S&P 500 had. We fell below the next area of support that the S&P 500 had, and now really the best area of support that the S&P 500 has is this yellow box, and it is a good area of support. You know, the S&P 500, and this is something I was telling you guys about for quite some time, had a spectacular rally. I mean, you know, it's only had a small number of pullbacks, really, if you really look at it. You know, we had this nice leg up over here, pullback number one, another leg up, pullback number two, another leg up. You know, and the Elliott wave fans are really just getting a chubby right now, I can already tell. You know, and then we've had wave 4 with wave 5 right here. So this is really, really interesting. I don't know if I said the wave numbers correctly, but you certainly understood what I'm talking about here. This would actually be wave 5. This would be wave 5, which is why the Elliott wave theory doesn't work. But anyway, we're not going to talk about that right now. You know, so the S&P 500 now tumbling very, very low, but it's got great support a little bit lower. And why does this stuff even matter? Well, the main reason that this stuff matters is that, generally speaking, if the stock market is performing well, Bitcoin performs well, and we've gone very deep on this YouTube channel for many years now even. Really what it boils down to, if you missed it or if you haven't been subscribed or whatever, is that when the S&P 500, when the stock markets are performing well, investors that have a lot of capital are going to feel a little bit more confident, right? Imagine when you've made money in the crypto space, when you made money on Bitcoin, on Ethereum, you're like, shit, yeah, I want to make some more money in shitcoins now. And you make money in shitcoins, now you're like, all right, now I really want to make more money. Let me go into NFTs, and you just gradually take on more and more risk because you feel like a genius. You feel like you're unstoppable. Everything you touch turns into gold. The same thing happens to everybody, and it happens in slightly different ways, but this is what we're talking about. When the S&P 500 is performing well, Bitcoin is performing extremely well. I've got a really interesting chart here to show you what I mean by that. Take a look at this right here. We can actually take a look at the S&P 500 throughout 2020 all the way towards the end of 2021. We had 600 days of uptrending for the S&P 500, generally speaking, and within those roughly same 600 days, Bitcoin was performing well. Generally, it even lags a little bit, but we've got the same overall price action here. It's actually really interesting. Look, when the S&P 500 starts dropping down, it's similar time frames for Bitcoin. Bitcoin starts dropping a little bit early, S&P 500 starts dropping a little bit later. We're not looking for exacts here. If you're looking for exacts, you know, I mean, this is the kind of thing, is like you can't be in that mindset, especially if you're watching a YouTube channel like this. We're talking about realism here. We're talking about the real gritty nature of these markets. They're just not perfect, ladies and gents. They're not going to work 100% of the way that you want them to work. But if you look at the general ideas here, you look at the general kind of practical applications of these ideas, you're going to be in a really good spot, because what we had the next time was this general uptrend for the S&P 500, also reflected very nicely on Bitcoin a little bit later. We had 270 days of uptrend here, 260 for Bitcoin, roughly. We're not looking for exacts, of course. And this is where things get really interesting to me, because, you know, the first thing that you'll say is that, well, shit, the S&P 500 lost support. It's in free fall. Support is, you know, still a couple percentage points away, which for the S&P 500 is certainly not a small deal. You know, so damn, maybe this means Bitcoin is in a bad position. And you might be right. And we're going to explore that. But here's the other side of the coin. Here's the side of the coin you might not have thought of yet. See, the S&P 500 had this, I mean, we had a beautiful, strong rally up over here on the S&P 500, and we found support here, which we didn't actually fall below for a whole 100-day period. That's over 3 months. And if we take a look at Bitcoin with its equivalent, you know, kind of chart setup, and actually we're just going to do this side by side. So what I'm going to go ahead and do is hide all of these, just so that we don't get confusing. Yeah, that's what we're going to hide. We can show these again. I don't mind having these on the chart. And what I want to do is just overlay Bitcoin just side by side, so you guys can really kind of understand what we're actually looking at here with Bitcoin and the S&P 500. And if we look going back just a little bit, let me make sure everything's positioned correctly on my screen. I don't want this to be cut off. Do you know what? I'm just going to hide my camera, so bear with me. You know, and if we take a look at Bitcoin right here on this chart, and just kind of go back, you know, to the time period that we've been here. We've been here for 200 days and 100 days, you know, over here. So this is where the S&P 500 really got the breakout. So Bitcoin, obviously, as always, moves up way stronger than the S&P 500. That's why, you know, we had, you know, we had a bigger gain, and we've already seen that. I mean, if we take a look back at this chart again and just look at the numbers, it was 31% for the S&P 500, and it was 101%, 111% for Bitcoin. Similarly, it was 111% for the S&P 500 compared to 1600% for Bitcoin. Bitcoin always moves up stronger. This is completely standard. But what is very, very interesting is that the S&P 500 managed to hold this level for 100 days. It was clear that this was an important area of support for the chart. But Bitcoin, you know, hasn't even fallen below that level yet. You know, for Bitcoin, the same level is right here. For the S&P 500, it's over here. Look at the difference. This is where we start to read between the lines. The S&P 500 and Bitcoin developed a very similar area of support at the exact same time. Bitcoin just got there early. That's the only difference. It happened at the same time, but Bitcoin got there early. However, now we've seen the dollar spike up. We've covered that already. We've seen the S&P 500 drop down. We've established that there's a very clear correlation between the S&P 500 and Bitcoin. I really don't understand why people still refute this. The numbers are so fucking clear. They're right in front of you. Tell me how I'm wrong. You know, it's just so obvious. It doesn't mean that it's going to persist like this forever. You know, but right now and over the last few years, it's absolutely undeniable. And given that, you know, if the S&P 500 is seeing weakness, where's the weakness on Bitcoin? We haven't fallen below our support area yet. And let me take this a step further with you guys. I know that you're probably thinking I'm some permabull right now, but hear me out. You know, this is going to make a lot, you know, I'm not bullish for no reason. I'm actually seeing things that are making sense to me right here. You know, what we've seen on this chart, let's take the 8-hour time frame. Oh, we can't do that. We can't even do 4-hour. One sec. Let me bring up a different chart. We'll use this one right here, 8 hours. You know, what I want to show you is if we really just, you know, let's just calm the fuck down. Let's just sit down for a second, take a deep breath, grab some water. Got the Voss right here. You already know the deal. We're not doing normal plastic bottles out here. You know, and what we're seeing is we've got this area of support down here at the $25,000 area. This is the low where everybody was super bearish, and obviously if you were watching me, you're going to know that I was actually bullish, because that's what happens as a good trader, is you become bullish when people are bearish. Fuck me, right? It's kind of revolutionary for a lot of people to think about, but you know, we are aiming to stay bullish when others are bearish. My Tron position continues to make me money while everybody else has been losing money in this market. You know, I was long on Tron, still am long on Tron. You guys know a lot about that trading position that I've taken that's continuing to make me money absolutely beautifully. Take a look at it against Bitcoin as well. Really, really strong price action here from Tron. Of course, if you guys want to trade these markets where I'm doing it, then check out Bybit with the link in the description down below. You're getting up to $30,000 in completely free trading capital, which is money that you can deploy back into the market. When you start trading using my link, they're going to give you free cash, and you can throw that money back into the market. Any profits you generate are yours to keep. If you don't like KYC, if you don't want to, you know, you're a little bit more privacy minded, BingX is an amazing alternative, which I'm also using. I'm going to be talking to you a lot about BingX in today's video, because you can actually trade the S&P 500 on BingX as well, just with a Bitcoin deposit. You're getting over 100K in bonuses there. So absolutely beautiful stuff. Go ahead and check out those bonuses if you are interested. But if we do head on back to Bitcoin and actually just, really take a step back and sit down and breathe and relax and talk about what's actually happened here. Bitcoin went from this low right here. It rallied up, for 8 days. It hit a high right here. Okay, all's well and good. You're with me. You're with me. I know we all understand where we're at. All makes sense. If we actually go ahead and take a fixed range volume profile from the time we entered this range until now, all we've done, look at this red line right here. I don't want to confuse you guys. All we've done is we've risen up from a low, we've hit resistance, and we've come back down to support. That's it. That is it. We hit support, we hit resistance, and now we have a higher area of support. That's it. Don't let the noise fool you, okay? There's been a lot of shit to throw you off your balance in this market. There have been a lot of YouTubers, a lot of Twitter traders, a lot of dumb Discord, Telegram group admins or whatever that have no idea what's going on in the market, that are flip-flopping every single day, that are trying to trade these microscopic moves in the market and just getting washed away, losing money to guys like me in the market. Don't believe the hype. All that's happening. It's boring, guys. I know. It's boring. It kind of sucks. I understand. The reality is this, though. The reality is that we found support, okay? We went up to capture resistance, and now we have a higher area of support. So really, until we lose this low that we set a few days ago, I don't think we're that bad. And even if we do lose that support that we had a few days ago, again, if we look at this fixed range volume profile, which shows us where the support and resistance is in this range, and it shows this to us very clearly, we've actually got until 25.6, really, until a lot of this support has gone. And we can see this. I mean, it's not just the indicator, the tool here that's telling me this. I mean, it's very obvious. Just look at where all of the support was. Look at where all of the wicks were bouncing from. I mean, we've got, we're at the top of our support band right now. If I draw a box, if I draw a box to represent all of this support, and we put a line, because there's a line basically here, there's a lot of support here, a lot of resistance here, we've got support all the way down to here, starting up here. We're in the top half of our support range right now, and this is where everyone's bearish. The S&P 500, which has a very clear correlation with Bitcoin, has lost its support level. The dollar has broken out to a level which, by the way, can we just put this in perspective for a second? I don't know if you guys actually watch this stuff as closely as I do, but if you look at this and stretch this all the way back, we haven't been here since November of last year. All right, that's 301 days ago that, the dollar hasn't been this high. And in the face of that, Bitcoin's at a higher level of support. How bearish are we, ladies and gents? You tell me. Look, I don't want to be a perma bull. I don't want to be the guy that's always bullish or whatever, just for the sake of being bullish. Trust me. I mean, I do, actually. I'm lying to you. I do, because if I was that guy, I'd make way more money off YouTube, because it's a way more profitable thing to do. Way more, guys, more than 10x. My net worth would be massively inflated right now, if I was that guy. So that's obviously not me. You guys know that's not the case. When I'm telling you this stuff, I'm telling it to you because the charts are showing me things that other people are simply ignoring out of fear. What we've got right now is a climate where people are shit scared of Binance, and Bitcoin can't even drop below an area of support. I mean, at the end of the day, fuck all of your indicators, fuck everything that you're trying to read, deep into. What is the chart doing? We're setting a higher low. So far, it's a higher low. Now, I totally understand if we start dropping down, we might start to change the situation right here, but that hasn't happened yet, and that's exactly where people were going wrong right here. A lot of people were really worried about this price action only when we're falling down to the same area of support, which we knew would be support anyway, because it was resistance for so long. I mean, it's really simple stuff. It's the same things that we've already spoken about extensively on this YouTube channel. None of this has taken us by surprise. None of this is anything new whatsoever to any of us on this YouTube channel right here. Yet traders, when we're falling down here, are forgetting all of that, and they're just getting massively consumed by their fear. That's not how we do things. I totally understand. We don't want to see it coming down this low, but at the end of the day, we need to hit support levels, and that's what we're doing right now. Granted, let's take this back a notch. Actually, before we do that, I do want to talk to you about this daily candle here. I hope I remember to do that. Before I actually get there, I want to highlight a couple more things to you which I think are critical in this market. And it's just to put things in perspective a little bit more for you all. You know, what I want to do is just throw a Fibonacci retracement on here, because I think that this is a really useful tool, you know, to kind of gauge how low Bitcoin could go and still be incredibly bullish. And, you know, I think that this also helps to put things in perspective a little bit more. You know, we haven't even hit the 618 retracement for Bitcoin right now, and you know, as you guys know very well, if you've been watching this channel or if you've studied anything about technical analysis up to this day, you know, I mean, the 618 Fibonacci retracement is just so useful. I mean, we're going back to 2017 now just because it's easy, but you know, here's an example, just absolutely beautiful. I mean, from the low to the high, we fall down to the 618 retracement and then off to the races, and you can keep on drawing this for days. I mean, you know, some cases it doesn't work perfectly, other cases it works really, really well. Here's another instance, just eyeballing it, where it looks like it would have worked well, more or less, came down to that 618 retracement, you know, and then the rest was history. We didn't even come back up. We didn't even come back down to these levels. We retraced down, we overshot it a little bit, and then bam, it's just, you know, history was made. So, and this is a very typical thing for Bitcoin to do. Bitcoin has done this many times. It's not perfect. Sometimes we don't quite hit that retracement. Sometimes we hit other retracements or nothing at all, right? So we're not looking for, you know, saying that this is completely foolproof, but it is an incredibly valuable, you know, tool to apply to the Bitcoin chart. And, you know, one of the reasons that I think it's useful is it just helps us maintain perspective. You know, I think that a lot of people obviously are just, like I said, getting way too scared over seemingly, you know, I can't really see why you'd be getting super scared right now. You know, we haven't even fallen down to the most reliable Fibonacci support level on the chart yet. And, you know, if this kind of thing makes you uncomfortable, then, you know, you really do have to, you know, kind of take a step back and just consider if the crypto markets are for you, because a 618 retracement for any crypto market is super healthy. It's super normal. You know, I mean, you're getting aggressive price action here. You know, you're going to have to pay for that on the other side eventually. And if it doesn't sit well with you, that, you know, you might move up, you know, from here to here and then retrace down 60% of the uptrend. You know, if that doesn't sit well with you, then, and I totally understand that, it's just very volatile and very unstable, you know, then it's probably not for you. And it's important to recognize that, because if you don't, again, you're going to be one of those guys that just fills the pockets of guys like me, and I don't want that to be you. We'll leave that for the rest of the crypto market, but you guys that are watching me, I want you to be right up here with me, making all of this cash. Like I said, already doing all of this with Bybit and BingX as well, because here's the thing, what I think is going to be really interesting with S&P 500 right now, we will get to that Bitcoin daily candle in just a second, is this area of support. You know, this is a huge area for the S&P 500. If we take a look at the kind of reversals that have taken place in this range, the kind of resistance right here, the support, the resistance, you know, we take a look at just how critical this area has been for the S&P 500, basically in the 4100 range. You know, this is quite an interesting area of support for the S&P 500, and I would love to be able to trade this. Unfortunately, I can do exactly that. Here's BingX. And if we just type in SPX, we can actually see that it's available to trade. Let me type in SP500. No, not here. Okay. Well, it is definitely available. I'm just not able to show it to you for some reason right now. Let's see if I can find it some other way, because I do want to show this to you live on video. I don't understand why the UI on the homepage is so bad, though. This is something that they've got to fix. We've got the DAX, hopefully. If you can see the DAX, you know that there's other stuff too. No, nothing's working. Nothing's working. Okay. Okay, I'm going to have to find this later. I'll put a link in the description or something like that. But it's all tradable right here. You know, I've already set orders on the S&P 500 on BingX. Super annoying. This never works. I mean, it works like half the time, where you can actually search for it over here. I don't know, like, what I'm doing wrong, you know, for it to not show up. But anyway, I'll figure this out later. One last try right here. I want to see if I can find it. I don't think so. We can put stocks on. No, nothing. Nothing's coming up right now. Yeah, maybe you need to be logged in. But it is tradable on BingX, and this is something that I'm super interested in, because, yeah, I'm just looking to kind of set some long orders down here. You know, I don't know what I would do. Maybe like 20x leverage. I mean, you know, the risk is so small. Maybe 10x leverage. You know, it really depends on where I want to put my stop loss. You know, and then just ride this thing higher. You know, I'm not saying that it's definitely going to bounce up from there, but, you know, one thing that I think is very, very clear is that the S&P 500 has been in a very clear uptrend for a long time, and this is really the first deep correction we've seen. We've seen a couple deep corrections. I mean, you know, they're kind of deep. This one's 8%. This next one was quite a bit bigger. This was 9%. But you know, right now we're already at you know, kind of 8%. 1%, and there is no support nearby. So, you know, there's at least another kind of 1 or 2% drop, you know, kind of incoming. So I think this is going to be the biggest drop for the S&P 500 since we bottomed out, you know, back here in October of last year. You know, and because of that, I mean, this is just a really, really interesting area for me to consider some longs, because I haven't actually ridden the S&P 500 up yet. I don't think that anything is as bearish as people are saying, primarily because they're saying that it's super, super bearish. And by the way, this BingX thing is really bothering me. I might just like put a screenshot on if I edit the video afterwards or whatever. Like I said, I'll just put a link, because I want you guys to be able to see that that's all possible. It's like, it is the selling point of BingX. I mean, the fact that, you know, you don't have to do KYC is super cool, but, you know, like for those of you that don't want to do that, which I can totally understand, obviously everyone just wants your fucking data these days, you know, but that's not even the highlight for me. It is the fact that you can trade traditional finance. I wouldn't care about BingX if you can't trade traditional finance. That's, you know, it's just like that. I mean, it's a great exchange, don't get me wrong, but, you know, I've already got the best exchange right here. So why would I be interested? It's because it gives me access to markets that I can't touch, you know, on Bybit. So, you know, that's something which I think is really, really important. So, yeah, interesting long setup there. Definitely something that I'm going to be looking into. I mean, I've only seen this today, but I've already been speaking to my team about kind of setting orders for that trade right there. That's obviously going to be shared inside of VIP as well. You know, and if we go ahead and take a look at Bitcoin and really just kind of understand what's been going on with today's daily candle, you know, I mean, this is the thing, is like, I had a friend messaging me today, bless him, I love the guy, who was just like, you know, this looks like big, this looks like a big thing, new paradigm shift, whatever. He was kind of coming at me with that energy, and I was like, listen, bro, it's just a liquidity grab. Let's not read into it. I mean, you know, if it sticks, it sticks, okay. But you know, what we've seen, I mean, today was just more of this. It was more of this. It was more of this. You know, it's the same thing that we've already seen many, many times. So, you know, don't get, you know, kind of washed out, you know, with the chop. This is what it is. It's just chop. Don't get washed out with it. Don't let it, you know, kind of carry you away or get excited. You know, if you happen to be sitting there when the price action is happening, don't fucking sit there and watch it. You know, like a degenerate. You don't need to sit there and watch the chart. Go live your fucking life. Do your analysis. I mean, you know, this is the thing. Like, everybody asks me, Sammy, how much time do you spend trading? How much time do you spend on your computer? You must be, you know, when they find out I'm a trader, they'll be like, oh, you must be on your computer all the time. Like, fuck no, absolutely not. The only time I get on my laptop is to make these videos for you guys. You know, and that is it. You know, I really don't need to do much at all. I mean, if the market's not moving, then what am I going to do sitting on my laptop? Just fucking jerk off or something? You know, like, there's nothing I could, you know, not to say that that's what I'm, but like, there's nothing going on. There's nothing you could do. So like, what else can you do? You just fucking like keep yourself busy somehow. You know, like you're not going to be doing anything. Like, what analysis can you do on this chart? There's nothing going on. We've just been sideways for months. You know, like this is the thing that I think a lot of people don't understand. So this is why, you know, like I'm giving you guys these super funny analogies of like, you know, getting the lotion out and stuff like that. Because a lot of these crypto traders are fucking degenerates, and they're just waiting for the next high, and they're just jumping from high to high to high. You know, like degenerate gamblers, and that's not who we're trying to be. You know, the fact is, if there's not much to do, all you can do is watch your levels. And if the market hasn't hit those levels, then go live your life. Go hit the gym, go for a walk, do anything other than, you know, obsess over the market for trades, because if it's not there, you can't force it, ladies and gents. You know, you can't put yourself in that position. So that's really important. I mean, if I'm looking at, you know, the next area on Tron, I mean, what's the most I can do? I can just open up Tron. Okay, I made more money today. That's standard. Nothing's unusual there. And we still haven't broken out yet. So what else can I do? I mean, this takes me like 2 seconds to see. I know that the next key level on this chart would be, you know, whatever, 9.1 cents, you know. We're not there yet. What do? Nothing. There's nothing I can do. You know what I mean? Like, I don't understand how people even end up spending so much time on these charts, you know. And one of the things that you really see with those kind of traders is that they trade so much that they're losing money more often as well. And that's not something that you see with me. Like, yeah, of course I'm taking L's, but because I'm not trading so much, I'm limiting how many losses I take. And this is a really big deal, you know, but the fact that I'm limiting my losses puts me in a position where I have enough capital to deploy into the market when a good setup comes. And moreover, more importantly than that, I'm also not getting tilted. My mindset is rock solid. I've got a good, healthy mindset as a trader. I'm not scared to put my capital in risky places because I know that I haven't made blunders recently, and so, you know, my mind space is just in the, you know, my headspace is just correct. It's just where it needs to be. This is something which people don't really understand. You know, when you lose money in the market, you're losing two things. First of all, you're losing your capital, which sucks, but you're also losing your mental stability as a trader. And that's way more important, because this is going to cost you future profits. And what the fuck are you here for if you're not interested in future profits? So really, really important point. You've already made it to the end of the video, which is why you've been rewarded with such beautiful wisdom from 𝗬𝗙𝗧𝗜𝗔𝗟 right here. Again, on the note of this daily candle, there's nothing to read into it as far as I'm concerned. It's a bearish rejection. That is absolutely true. I'm not going to beat around the bush. I don't like this candle. It's not a good candle. However, we have seen candles like this right before big moves to the upside. You know, it's not like we can't do this. We've already done this. We've already had big rejection candles and then moved up the next day. So is it something that I want to read into massively? No, it's really not something that worries me that much. Maybe we go sideways a little bit, maybe we even slip lower. The fact is that there's still a lot of support for Bitcoin, and no matter what happens, as long as we don't sweep this low, we're still setting higher lows and potentially getting ready to set higher highs as well. We've just got to see what the market does with all of this and how we move over the next few days and weeks. So really, we're still waiting for that volatility. But right now, while everybody's losing their mind, I'm trying to stand here, being your voice of reason, showing you that nothing has really changed. You know, it's the catchphrase of this YouTube channel, because it's true. It's boring. And that's just how it is. That's, you know, the market is boring. What do you want me to say? You know, I can't spice it up for you. You know, this is just how it is. And if you lose patience during times like this, you won't make money. It is that clear. I can tell you that with the utmost confidence. So there you go. I hope you have enjoyed this dose of realism right here on the 𝗬𝗙𝗧𝗜𝗔𝗟 YouTube channel. If you have, go ahead and check out the links in the description for all of your beautiful bonuses. If you haven't already taken advantage of them, like I said, Bybit, just got to start trading using my link and you're getting up to 30k in free trading cash. By the way, spot trading, completely free. You want to buy, sell shit coins, whatever you like, all completely free. Very, very cool offer right there. BingX, again, you know, great offer. Traditional finance accessible as well, just with a Bitcoin deposit. Super, super cool. So go ahead and check that out if you are interested. Obviously, I'm probably going to put like a rolling banner eventually on this stuff. But, you know, if you're in a restricted country, if your country doesn't allow you to trade this stuff, then don't do it. You're obviously not allowed to. Don't get yourself in trouble. Don't be an idiot. But, you know, if your country does give you that freedom, then there you go. Check them all out. Thank you all very much, and I'll see you all in the next one. Cheers.